Hi, everybody. I'm Anita Walker, Executive Director at the Mass Cultural Council, and welcome to our Culture Chat. This is the second one we've done. First one went pretty well, so hang with us here. We're getting kind of new at this. As you know, we are working very, very hard at the Mass Cultural Council to roll out some programs to help our organizations and our individual culture workers who are in such terrible financial straits because of the coronavirus. But we also know at the very same time, our field is doing amazing creative things because creativity, innovation, and resilience are part and parcel of who we are. So we keep looking around for wonderful ideas of people who have bounced up and risen to the occasion to continue to do their great work. And joining us today is Kristen Sherman. She is with, all right, I'm old school, so I want to call you Urban Improv, but you're now Rehearsal for Life. And
right.
One of your big events that you do every year that I think I have done every year that I have been in Massachusetts, with the exception of one, is Band in Boston. So first of all, Kristen, welcome to our Culture Chat this morning.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And thanks for being in the trenches with everybody. You're such an advocate for everybody in the arts. It's inconceivable what we would do without you. So, and everybody at the MCC. Just being a part of this is, to me, like being on the moon a little bit.
Well, thank you for being with us. So before we get into your innovation and your agility in the face of isolation, tell us first of all about Rehearsal for Life. What is your program all about?
Sure. Rehearsal for Life is the umbrella name for a creative youth development office. We do basically all sorts of theater. We do improv with our program called Urban Improv. It's in 5 public Boston public schools. And we teach improv skills for just life skills, essentially. Through a 9-week curriculum for 3 terms a year. It's what we do Band in Boston for. It raises all of the money for that program. That's why it's so important for our survival. The other programs we do, a teen program for students called Youth Unscripted. And it's a smaller program with Boston Public School students from across the city that meet at the Reggie Lewis Center every Thursday. And then also we have our assembly program as well outside of the city. We also do this amazing after-school program that was our founding program called Freelance Players. And it's an after-school theater program based with original musicals and theater that is really top-notch. It's got an amazing, robust alumni network. It's been going on for 45 years, I think, 44 years. So we have a really robust artistic creative circle that we work with every day.
Tell us about some of the kids in your program and how theater and improv really make a difference in their lives.
It's interesting. I think that, when it comes to urban improv in particular, I don't know that everybody thinks it's an arts program. I think some students come through it. We serve all students. It's not an opt-in. We are a part of every 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade experience for our 5 partner schools. And so you could be in your math class with your math friends and you're in Urban Improv. It really teaches social emotional learning skills. And we do it through art. We do it through theater games, and we do practice of real life simulations of things that students have happen to them, whether it's something difficult, maybe it's being bullied, or being kind of left out, or if it's something joyful like imagination and nutrition, learning about eating new things. We have so much curriculum that serves that program.
So, like so many of our organizations, we depend on contributed income to make ends meet, to be able to provide these amazing programs. And yours, as you said, is Band in Boston. First of all, tell us about how Band in Boston usually presents itself.
There's nothing ordinary about this event. It's we always say it's not your rubber chicken dinner fundraiser. Even calling it a gala doesn't really describe it, and you've been in it, so you can chime in. But we always also say, it's kind of a party within a party within a party. There's an actual production. It's comedy and musical review. It's on the premise of like Saturday Night Live, where we have several skits. All of our cast are from every sector in the city, coming together to have this one night only show like Saturday Night Live. You have everybody zooms in, people you cannot get any other way. And they check their ego at the door, grab a script that we've given them, I think 7 days in advance. And we tell them what their costumes are. We have some costumes to help. But it's essentially, you get there by 5, the show starts at 8:15, and we go, or 6:45, I should say, and we go. And it's really joyful and funny. We have a lot of digital shorts that we do. It's very contemporary. So we're writing script until 2 weeks beforehand, because anything can change it, anything in the news. But it's a schmoozy, funny, fun party. And in it, I think what I hear over and again is you never rub elbows with the same people in this type of circumstance. You just never get that opportunity. And it makes it a real community building thing for the city. But it's all in support of this youth program, Urban Improv.
The cast is made up of everybody from governors to attorneys general to our congressional delegation to local chefs, and even some famous celebs sometimes make an appearance. I mean, you might want to name a few.
I will. We're so fortunate that we have these producers who have networks all over the place, and they're really helpful, and they're also fearless in asking people to jump on board. And many years ago, I think when we first started, Tom Hamilton of Aerosmith, he's one of our highlights. The man will wear any costume for us and do anything we ask. He believes in our program so much. Other folks, I mean, it's sort of overwhelming. We've had Jim McGovern, who's one of our congressmen, but Elizabeth Warren. We usually do get the governor, the mayor. Everybody comes. If they can't be live, they do it via video. It's pretty overwhelming. This year we have some great people who signed up for it, and just their endorsement alone of saying I'll jump on stage, like Linda Henry from the Boston Globe, Steve Conine from Wayfair. He's really good on stage. You see a side of people you don't think you'll see. Sam Kennedy from the Red Sox, he always jumps in.
Goodwin, a state historian who is hilarious on stage.
Yeah, it's great. Emily Rooney from Greater Boston, and Jared Bowen from Open Studio. I mean, there's all sorts of people. Then Bob Rivers from Eastern Bank. He's really great at jumping in and pretending he's a dog in a skit about animal therapy. It's really funny, the funny little things.
Well, as a several times cast member, I can tell you, first of all, no talent whatsoever is required. And actually, it's funnier. The less talent you have, the funnier you tend to be. No rehearsal is one of the bylines. In fact, it's one of the lyrics in the song we sing every single year when we do the show. And basically, no one actually reads the script before they get there. Then we're given a silly costume. I've been everybody from Queen Elizabeth to I can't even remember the crazy characters that I've been, none of whom I bear any resemblance to ever. And I don't once I'm in costume either. And then we take our scripts on stage and we make mistakes, but the audience loves it and is very forgiving. And it is incredibly topical. I mean, whatever the politics of the day are, or whatever, has just happened in the news, it's instantly up there and part of a funny skit, as you said, like Saturday Night Live. So this is something that is so much about being there, about being in the room, about being around this crazy collection of people. And so when you found out that we couldn't convene this year and Band in Boston couldn't happen as it typically does, first of all, what was your reaction to that? I mean, this is your fundraiser. This pays for the program all year long.
I think everybody's going through this, so it's not saying anything. You watch it and you think, what does this mean? What does this mean? And then you keep asking yourself, okay, what do we do next? And we really, the only way I could break it down was you know, this event is joyous. It can't be replicated in any other way, but we can take the essence of what it's about. It's a fundraiser for Urban Improv, and that is all about thinking on your feet and making decisions. And we teach the students, you know, they are the people who can have a voice and a choice in their lives and to do it creatively. And we just sort of kept visiting the mission of, when you go through the logistics, when you slog through, gosh, you know, we have to contact, you know, the restaurants, you know, to tell them we're canceling. I'm thinking to myself, every single restaurant is also in the same boat. And worse, you know, you think about every layer, the cast, they all run businesses, they're all going through this. So it was a lot of putting yourself in their shoes too, and recognizing it's not all about us, and what can we do that will show what we do with I think empathy, but also with recognizing a balance of, this event is really important and vital to our survival, but can we take elements of our mission and put it on display and honor everybody who got us here, and hopefully you know, will still support us through this really difficult time.
So what are you doing? How are you translating Band in Boston into a virtual event?
Well, so just, you know, segueing from what I just said, we really had a lot of meetings with our producers, our ensemble team, and we just sort of sought out ideas. What does this look like? How does this feel? And is it in poor taste? You know, are we doing anything? Is this, because you can't reschedule this event. There's no, we'll do it in 6 months. So what we did was we sort of thought about, we have some real talent, and we had footage of our program of the students in the classrooms, which is quite private. Not a lot of people come and see our program because it's in classrooms. And we do a demonstration at our fundraiser of what it is. And it never feels right to us internally, because it's, you know, it's not the real thing. But with all of the footage we had filmed maybe on the 2nd of March, we were able to have, hey, we have content. We can show people what goes on in the classroom with the artist educators who deliver it. And we basically repackaged our program with the very good advice of our ensemble, who know it best. They're delivering it to the students every single day. They helped us put a framework around it and how we present it. And we keep going back. It's not, I wish I could say had this fully formulated plan, but we are planning as we're going. And we're still planning now. What's our finale? You know, we decided to make video series of our program. And what the finale looks like, you guys are just going to have to tune in, because we really don't have it planned out. We have some conversations of honoring, again, what we've done. We've had a lot of footage of our program, of how it's been, but is it relevant to show it now? We think people are looking for humor. So they're looking for a little release from all these Zoom meetings that we're participating in. So we do know we have content, but do we have the bandwidth to turn it around in a tasteful and funny way? You know, we're hoping so. So we're working through that.
Now, you brought with you today a little bit of video. First of all, set it up. Tell us what we're going to see. And to our listeners and viewers and Zoomers, fingers crossed this works. We're trying this for the first time, but first tell us what we're going to see, Kristen.
So part one of the program that we do, Urban Improv, has a few components, and it's the song, the scene, the group scene, and most like the freeze is when we make the students stop and think, what are their next actions? You know, whatever choices you make are yours. So as we broke those down, we were deciding to present them each week, as we had 4 weeks to Band in Boston or 5 weeks to Band in Boston. We decided to break it down. And so one of our actor educators, who's really adept at not just his actor educator job, but he's really wonderful social media influencer and personality out there. So he kicked it off doing the scene, which is his particular favorite part of our program that we do.
So we're going to take a look at that. So Carmen, who is behind the scenes, go ahead and play that video for us. So, hi everybody. I couldn't hear it.
No, either could I.
I could see it, but I couldn't hear it. So a little technical glitch there. Oh, however, I did kind of get a sense of what was going on. Kind of walk us through what we saw. And by the
Well,
way, we do have a link to the YouTube video
oh,
on
great.
our chat session. So
And you
those of you
can,
who actually want to hear the audio that goes with that video, you could just go get that on our chat.
and
But
you
go
can
ahead.
see it at fandomboston.org. too. Our new real estate for the event, actually.
So tell us a little bit what was going on there.
Yeah, Tori just sets the scene about what students what they experience, and we every week have a new topic that we explore through the different scenes, whether it's changing family life, changing home life, if it's or it could be about racism, or it could be about homophobia, or it could be about nutrition, about picking out, trying new foods, things that are big deals for kids and adults too. It's really content for anybody of any age, our curriculum, and as a parent or as a student, you can get so much out of it. So he kicked it off, and just why the scene is so important to him.
I can imagine that now so many of the youth that you are working with on a regular basis are at home. They're not with their friends, they're not in school, and they're, having to kind of make it through every single day without sort of the social interaction that's so much part and parcel of growing up.
Yeah.
I taught enough on adults, but I can only imagine that teenagers and young people are really, really missing that close social interaction with their friends. And it's also sort of the underpinning of what you're teaching through your program. Have you come up with any ways to reach kids at home?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, we have been working on that, and like everybody, our teachers are parents, and people are kind of figuring it out. And one of the things, when we were in touch after the first week or so with the Boston Public School teachers, our partner schools, we asked them, what do they want from us? We gave them a quick survey of how can we help. And as they're getting their feet on the ground, a lot of our students don't have computers or don't have Wi-Fi. And so the work that the mayor is doing and the superintendent to distribute and get, it's part one of a bigger issue, obviously. But what we can do, and what we have done, we've started to put together urban improv care packages. And it's, basically the beginning of looking at what we do through all of the elements of what we do for our students in person, and do it through video, through Zoom. So we're putting together content to send to the students via the teachers. And we also are hoping that we'll have some interactions with them as well, as they are able to arrange Zooms and do the same sort of interface with their students. They can incorporate stuff that we have done for them, but also we are hopeful they could even connect with the actor educators themselves, because it's sort of like having a guest star field trip, so to speak, but with our actor educator ensemble. And they're really beloved. We end up seeing these students for many years in a row. We see them for 5 years. And they know us, and we often know them. And it's, but sometimes some people have put it, we see these students grow in ways their own teachers don't, because the teacher sees them for a year. We see them over 5. So that's why Band in Boston is so critical in deciding to change it and make it a virtual experience. It's not the same, but with the funding we hope we can raise, it will help deliver in these new modes the same stuff we have always done and are well known for.
I'm going to get kind of back to the sort of the beginning and the heart of the matter, because you are the development director and your job is to raise money. And as you said at the beginning, Band in Boston is the fundraiser of the year. How is it going with the virtual program?
I'll tell you, it's still evolving, and we're knocking on wood that people who are able to give still will. Our sponsors are phenomenal, and the committee and the chairs are dedicated, and we're all figuring it out, and we can't do it without everybody coming together still for us, and in what way they can. And so we're having a lot of conversations right now to see about how people feel, how are they doing, and trying to just maintain a communication line has been really important. And people who can give are that's been actually quite heartening. And I will say, when people, the first email we sent out, backing up, when we sent the email out saying we had to cancel to the broader audience, after we called and contacted our concentric circles of supporters, meaning anybody who was involved with Band in Boston at any level, I've been overwhelmed and humbled by people's response to waiving fees. To the first gift was from a former person who was involved in Band in Boston. Just called us immediately and sent a quick gift. It's so meaningful, and it's something that I'm hopeful will continue in the next couple of weeks and beyond, because we're going to need you. We really will.
I think that's such an important point you're making. We don't know a lot. We don't know how long this pandemic crisis is going to last, but we do know that it will end. And we do know that kids will eventually be going back to school. And we do know that our cultural organizations and our creative youth development programs need to be there when life returns to whatever the new normal looks like. And the only way that we can assure that the young people that you've been working with for 5 years or the next 5 years will have that same opportunity is to sort of wrap our programs in bubble wrap and keep them safe and secure, and continue to provide the financial support so that you are here and healthy and well and able to pick up where you left off when this all ends. I've been absolutely so heartened and amazed to see the creativity coming out of our cultural organizations as you keep that connection going, possibly in a different way, probably in a different way, not just with your donors, but with your constituents, with your stakeholders, with the people you serve, so that nobody's forgotten in the meantime.
Yeah, it's really important. And I will say it's been an interesting, experience as a person who's done events for a long time. The only way I could start to have the conversation with you, Anita, and was thinking back, I wrote down what happened for the past 2 weeks, because I realized we were living through it, but I hadn't written down what we had done. And it was really, it gave me a lot of hope to think, wow, we've pivoted really quickly. And I think everybody is. And we're a small organization, so we can be more nimble than others, but we can't do it alone. And I think the world is realizing that for every organization, we're all in this, figuring it out.
I have to tell you that when I got your first email, because, we're kind of looking and surveying the field and trying to figure out what's happening to who, when. And when I got your first email as a cast member for Band in Boston, and you said, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to have the event, but don't worry, we have a plan and we're going to be doing something. Just saying that was so heartening. Just saying, yep, it's going on. I don't know what they're going to do, but I know it's going to be brilliant. I want to tell you, we do have a question that just came in from somebody that has a very familiar name, Sissy Champion, who is a long time, what do I want to say, founder of
producer. She's everything.
Everything. And she's asking what other pivots that nonprofits are making in their fundraising that we're seeing. And I'm telling you, everybody is being absolutely creative. The event type fundraiser is one of the things that just really kind of took the big blow, because we can't have events. But virtual events, inviting people to continue to make the contribution regardless of the fact that we're not getting together. There is sort of a spin around, hey, you don't have to get dressed up. You don't have to eat the rubber chicken. You can stay home in your pajamas and put your feet up and watch your favorite television show, but still write that check to our organization, because it means a lot. Because, at the end of the day, and I have to say Band in Boston may be unique in this respect, because the event is really pretty awesome. Pretty amazing, which is why you get so many of us to go back year after year after year. But the reason people give is because they believe in what you do. It's really about the mission.
It's true.
It's really about the
It's
work
true.
you're doing. It's really about the youth. It isn't about the party. It isn't about the event. It's about the hundreds and hundreds of young people that you have made such a difference in their lives. That said, when the coronavirus is over and Band of Boston returns in its original form, anybody who is listening, please come, because you've never seen anything like it.
There's going to be so many jokes. There's just so much jokes.
Well, Kristen, I want to thank you so much for joining us on Culture Chat today.
Thanks.
Thank you for being brave to share your story. It's hard to be the development director. I have actually been a development director, and to talk about the hard part of fundraising, especially in a crisis like this. And you've really reflected so much of the nuance around what's appropriate, what isn't appropriate. And I'm so impressed by how your caring extends to your partners and your sponsors and everybody else who's going through the same thing. And I think that means a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for doing this. It's making everybody feel a little less alone. And it's true. It's true. But, thank you for always saying, yes, and to us when you say, we'll all do Band in Boston one more time. Thanks, Anita.
Thank you, Kristen. And thank you all for joining us. And we'll be back again this week, I think 1 or 2 times. Have a good day.